Kia ora everybody, my name's James Cockle. I'm running for the male co-leadership position at the Green Party this year at the AGM in August. And I want to talk with you now, in our, I think, 5th episode, about the Great Downshift. So the Great Downshift is coming. The Great Downshift is coming, whether we like it or not. The question is, will it be a sudden drop or will we smooth that curve? Well, that's what I stand for, is to smooth the curve of the Great Downshift. What will this mean? It will mean cuts in consumption of physical resources, right? We need to cut down our consumption. We need to take a conservationist approach to our resource use, and that means conserve them. Use less of everything. It means zero waste via product stewardship, which means those who create the waste deal with its recovery. What does that look like? Well, when you go to put out your recycling, instead of having to worry about every little thing, do they take the Tetra Pak these days, or can I put the yogurt bottle in the recycling, or does that have to go in the trash? No, you won't have to worry about any of that anymore. You'll be putting everything in the same bin. All the rubbish goes in the same bin because it's all going to be recycled. It's all going to be sorted, and the people that created that rubbish are going to be charged for it. Yeah. It means that there'll be incentives. There'll also be a biodegradable bin as well, like a composting bin, and that will be put out and that will be picked up. But in most cases, it will only be taken locally. It'll only be dropped within a kilometre of where you're living, because there'll be community gardens there to plant, to rework that compost and get it back into the system, producing food again, right? So that's a couple of things that will need to happen. So the rubbish system will be far simpler, and there'll be zero waste. There must be zero waste. It's not an option. It's either going to come through us choosing to do this, or it's going to come when it hits us. Of course, it means we'll need a mass mobilization in terms of our conversion to renewables, but at the same time, we'll need to have a mass mode shift, right, from private transportation to public transportation, to walk, bike, train, bus. It means there'll be more local goods and services, reduced transport costs every way possible, and there'll be massive increases in energy efficiency, because we'll need to downshift our energy consumption by about 80%. We'll also need to downshift our product usage, our actual using of resources. We'll need a massive downshift, and it'll be more employment, because at the moment our current economic settings are such that anytime you can lay somebody off and use up more resources, it's more economic to do that. But in a common sense economy, it will be more economical to hire somebody to help you conserve resources, right, than it will be to fire somebody in order to use more resources cheaply, because currently the current setting is that it's your labor costs which are your highest costs. So anytime you can lay people off, that's what you want to do. So that's the kind of things that we need, that are going to be coming. Now, if we don't do this, the Great Downshift will also happen anyway. It's just that it'll be a very sudden drop as we hit the limits of our environment and the limits of our biosphere and what it can manage to sustain. We're getting nearer to that limit. We don't know if we've crossed that limit right now, but we don't want to find out, because once we find out, it's too late. So let's get into this. Let's get the Great Downshift underway. With me as leader of the Green Party, we can make it happen. Thanks. Bye.